Like to make your way over to this direction in our gathering this morning. We're going to have some dynamic speakers talking about our issues that we share this morning. So I'm Jennifer Terry. I'm the Executive Director with the Iowa Environmental Council, and I thank you all for being here. It's amazing. It's so great to be among our allies and partners and friends. Thank you so much. So today we're here to celebrate our shared Iowa values. As a Hardin County dairy girl, I certainly understand that Iowa values include the conservation of natural resources, the growing healthy communities, and building a cleaner energy for our future. As Iowans, though, we also care about our neighbors having clean, safe water to drink. We care whether Iowans can afford their energy bills, right? And we also believe that discussions about land and water should not rip apart families and communities, but rather they should build and strengthen the social fabric of Iowa. So our first speaker today absolutely embodies those Iowa values, and his name is Seth Watkins. Seth is a fourth-generation farmer from southwest Iowa. He's a steward of his family's heritage farm near Clarinda. Seth conserves fossil fuel, protects the land, works with nature to improve ecology, which is a trio of practices that contribute to the success of his farm. So help me welcome Seth Watkins.
Thank you. I'm not too sure about the dynamic part. I'm a farmer, a lot better farmer than I am speaker, but we'll give this a shot. Anyway, once again, thank you all for having me here, and I really do appreciate the opportunity. Some people have said that I'm a regenerative farmer, and I always like to say that I'm not sure I really deserve that title. I'd say what I am is a farmer who 20 years ago switched my priority from production to stewardship. And in that time, I started building a more sustainable and regenerative system. Now, parts of this system are very good, and other parts of my system are still a work in progress. But at the end, sustainability is about continuous improvement and being a seeker of the truth. And like many of Iowa's farmers, I'm simply trying to do the best I can with the resources and information I have available. So this business of building regenerative systems is sometimes viewed as maybe just rainbows and unicorns. But like many other farmers around the state, myself included, what we're finding is it's actually sound economics. And I'll give a quick primer on the three characteristics we've seen of sustainable farms. Number one, a sustainable farm has to be profitable. There's no sustainability without that. Number two, our farms have to be ecologically sound. Farms are living systems. Living systems are sustained by natural resources, specifically soil, sunlight, rainfall, and our own ingenuity. Our farms cannot be sustained long-term by finite resources, fossil fuel, and equipment or iron, simply because over time the cost of these resources exceed the cost of the products we raise. That's why working toward ecological solutions has proved to be such a great boost to both my profitability and lowering costs of my operation. That's what has made us sustainable. And I think the most important part of this, our farms have to be socially responsible. Farming is a private partner, a public-private partnership, and I do receive USDA subsidy payments. But the way I look at this is you're my customer. If you eat beef, drink water, breathe air, or pay taxes, we're connected in some way, and what you want matters very much to me. I think at the very least, I believe you deserve clean water and healthy soil for your investment in agriculture. Many of the things that can help agriculture happen at the federal level through the Farm Bill. but I tried to think, what can the state do to really help us build a more regenerative food system, not just for me, but for our entire state. And I'm going to start here. Number one, we do need to fully fund the Leopold Center, but we need to change its focus to helping business, industry, consumers, and farmers work together to address sustainability goals. Walmart and McDonald's are the two largest buyers of beef in this country. I have no doubt that Pinhook beef winds up there. What Walmart, McDonald's, and a whole suite of other companies want is to be carbon neutral by 2030. They want antibiotic-free meat. They want cage-free eggs. And these are, not only are these the right things to do, and the socially responsible things to do, it's what my customers want. And businesses that don't listen to their customers go out of business. The Leopold Center is the organization best suited to help farmers like myself learn the systems needed to stay competitive by giving our customers what they want and deserve. The really good news in this, the farming systems that sequester carbon, reduce animal stress and antibiotic needs, are the same systems that will clean our water and restore soil and natural resources. Now listen, I'm from Page County. I'm a fourth-generation Republican, and I was always taught that our motto was education, not regulation. So I'd ask that we quit treating the Leopold Center like the redheaded stepkid of ISU agronomy, no offense to redheaded stepkids, and put our money where our mouth is and fully fund and support this organization that we all need. The next issue I'm watching is IWIL and the water quality money. I understand the majority up here still don't understand how serious our state's natural resource and water problems are. If this were the case, IWIL would have passed a long time ago. I still hope it passes. In the meantime, these are my suggestions for the water quality money. Number one, we've got to accept that fixing this problem is not about being fair, it's about being strategic. This means we have to use a watershed approach. My suggestion, if you want to listen to a Southern Iowa cow farmer, we need to combine the water quality money with tax credits and an escalator to farmers that dedicate entire watershed districts. The more farmers participating, the higher the incentive. And I know there's some argument on tax credits, but we spent $109 million on tax credits to make more fertilizer. Half our fertilizer winds up in our water. I don't think it's unreasonable as a farmer to ask for this or to give Iowa farmers tax credits to keep the fertilizer here in the first place. And then for IDOLs, this is one that I don't know why we haven't set this goal earlier. Do you all understand what T means when we talk about soil loss? T is the tolerable rate. And kind of a funny, it's kind of like fake news of soil science. I want to change T to 0. This is an attainable and necessary goal because we simply cannot feed a growing population with depleting natural and finite resources. And number two, we need more diversity within our state. We have to identify new crops, markets, and distribution systems to enhance our current corn soy system. Our neighboring states are doing this, and they're capturing the economic and environmental rewards that come from diversification. Finally, in closing, I just say we have the resources to build a food system in our state that will build stronger, more profitable farms and rural communities while regenerating our natural resources, cleaning our water, and allowing us to maintain our position as a global leader in the production of safe, healthy food. It simply requires all of us working together for a common cause of stewardship. And with this, I just say thank you all for helping to protect the state we all love so much.
Thank you, Seth. I want to take a quick moment to give my huge amount of gratitude to our staff who's worked so hard on this event. Wave your hands if you're staff for the Iowa Environmental Council and our regional team. I also want to thank our member organizations, and many of them are here today. I'm blown away. I'm so excited that you're all here, and I really appreciate it. So, our next speaker this morning is Representative Andy McKean. Representative McKean hails from Anamosa and represents House District 58. Representative McKean has been a champion for the REAP program over the years. and he introduced forward-looking bipartisan bottle bill this year, which I think we're all very interested in hearing more about.
Well, thank you very much, folks. I'm very glad to be here. You know, I've been around a long time, and I was in the Iowa House back in the 1980s when we passed REAP for the first time, and I consider it to be one of the crowning achievements of our Iowa legislature, and I hope I'm around long enough to see it fully funded as it should be. Believe it or not, I was also around 40 years ago when we passed what I consider to be one of the most landmark pieces of legislation in Iowa history, and that's the bottle bill. And I was very proud of our Governor Ray for spearheading that effort. 40 years later, we still have the bottle bill, but it's limping because it needs to be improved and expanded. This year I introduced legislation along with 41 co-sponsors, 15 Republicans and 26 Democrats to expand the bottle bill. We want to increase the handling fee from 1 cent to 2 cents so our redemption centers can make a go of it. And we also want to expand the bottle bill to include water, tea, juice, and energy drinks. I think what we would see if we could accomplish this is that we would have redemption centers opening up all over rural Iowa. It would be a tremendous thing for the environment, for economic development, and also for the grocery stores too, because I think we would have a good alternative to having our bottles and cans going to the grocery stores. So we're working very hard to try to get some common ground with all the different players involved, the grocers, the distributors, and the redemption centers. And I'm very hopeful that when the dust settles, we'll see an improved and expanded bottle bill in the state of Iowa. Finally, I want to mention that I happen to be a Republican, and I just want you to know that there are indeed Republicans who care very deeply about the environment and want to see it improved. After all, we are the party of Teddy Roosevelt, and I think it's high time we return to his good principles. So thank you very much.
Our next speaker's name is Molly Hanson. Molly is the Executive Director of Iowa Rivers Revival. She's a wonderful partner of the Iowa Environmental Council and many of you. Everybody knows Molly, right? She's the passionate leader of her organization and river advocacy. She serves as the voice for 70,000 miles of rivers and streams, and she's the architect of the wonderful River Road Show, in which she takes legislators out in their districts and asks them to get into canoes and ride with her. And I think she's only lost one overboard. Good. Only one, but no lost lives, just went. Okay, good. So I'm going to yield now to Molly Hanson.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for having us all here today. I feel really lucky to be among so many colleagues and friends. I have lived in Iowa for 31 years, and I've worked in the County Conservation Board system all over the state, and now I get to work for rivers all over the state. And I have to tell you, it's a really, really great way to learn more about the state of Iowa. We are working on all kinds of different things to help support rivers and streams in Iowa, and we know that the most important piece of that is connecting people to those rivers and streams. Now, I am also a proud co-founder of a project called Women for Water, which you will learn more about very soon. But the message that we continue to try and bring to our legislators, to our movers and shakers in the community, to our business owners, and to women around the state of Iowa is that it's important for all of us to connect with this natural resource. Water is very essential to everything that we do, and our group focuses on a lot of different aspects of that. We've received funding from REAP, We support Iowa so that we can expand our water trails. And we know that everything we do as a small nonprofit organization requires collaboration. We work together with everyone in this room on almost a daily basis in order to move forward. We want to talk about economic development, recreational opportunities, safety, and all kinds of other activities that come when we connect with our natural resources. But that first piece is having that positive experience in a river. Some of the ways that we start our meetings is to, how I'm going to encourage all of you right now, is think of your first experience around a body of water. Whether you were fishing in a stream or swimming in a farm pond, or in my case, Clear Lake, when it was not a clear lake. We have these memories that first connected us to water in our state, and they're positive, and they involve our family and our friends. And then we fast forward to today. How has that changed? And if it's positive, if it's negative, or if it's even just different, what kind of an experience do we want to have for ourselves moving forward, for our communities moving forward, and for future generations moving forward? Now, our group focuses on funding for Lowhead Dam safety mitigation and water trails. We've seen amazing projects come to communities like Manchester and Charles City and Elkader by taking out old, crumbling infrastructure and replacing it with really fun things like whitewater courses and improved fishing and access for individuals who may not have had that experience or an opportunity to have that experience beforehand. We've seen the economic development that comes to those areas, and we are proud to continue to support those projects. That comes out of state funding in the Rebuild Iowa Infrastructure Fund, and we are asking to support funding for Lowhead Dam mitigation and water trails to help those communities get those projects off the ground. We also hope to take more legislators, elected officials, and big business owners out on the River Roadshow this summer and help them realize their rivers and the natural resources that are flowing through their own communities firsthand. Hopefully you will not fall in firsthand, but the opportunity to get out and see this new perspective, right? The opportunities that come when you get out and you enjoy that time and you share those opportunities with others. So you'll be hearing more from our organization all throughout the year, but we just want to say thank you very much for being partners with us, and please remember to embrace your rivers, and thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Troy Van Beek. Troy and his wife Amy founded a business here in Iowa called Ideal Energy, and they are our newest Iowa Environmental Council member organization, so thank you for that. Troy's leadership skills were gained serving our country as a Navy SEAL. He and his wife Amy are tireless voices for the solar and energy efficiency industries in Iowa. Thank you for being here today, Troy.
Is everybody fired up? I'm fired up. You know, we've come here during our busy days. We're working very hard to support the renewable energy industry, and we have to come here during this workload and try to make sure that legislation doesn't go through that is going to be detrimental to this industry that we think is protecting our environment. So, to give you a little background, my name is Troy Van Beek. I'm the CEO and co-founder with my wife that's manning our booth of Ideal Energy. We're a solar design and installation firm right in Fairfield, Iowa. We started in 2006. I actually came here after a 12, 13-year career in the U.S. military and paramilitary activity throughout Asia, Middle East, and Africa. And I tell you that because there's something that brought me here. It's the sustainability. I came here to get a degree in sustainability because I was making that switch. I'm a protector. That's my military background, and I believe deeply in that. So my transition from the military to here, it was natural to get involved in sustainability. And I got my degree, and while I was getting my degree, I was helping the university actually become more sustainable. And before I graduated, I was asked to participate in writing a plan for the community and to be more sustainable. We did that. And before I graduated, I started our company because I recognized that our community needed a company that could help implement the changes that we were recommending. So I'm trying to implement the leadership that I learned in the military as I came back and started this degree in sustainability and our business in sustainability. We started in energy efficiency, quickly migrated into renewables because we recognized we could have the biggest impact in so doing. You know, we've employed up to 35 people in our company. It varies up and down through the season, but these are good paying jobs that we're creating. I'm employing military veterans. I just hired another United States Navy SEAL, which I'm really happy to have done. You know, and this is good work that we're doing. It takes a lot of skill to implement safe, reliable energy source at a high quality. So we go through a training program. We actually build up our employees. We have an apprenticeship program that actually trains our electricians to become apprentices and journeymen and master electricians. So we're building the workforce that is needed here in Iowa, and we're really proud of that. So Ideal Energy has done some really neat things. You know, when we think about energy, the way that Ideal Energy looks at it is when we see a utility bill, we look at that as wasteful. See, that's a mark of how much waste, how much inefficiency we actually are putting into the environment. At Ideal Energy, we say, we're giving you the power. We believe that we can drastically, if not eliminate, your utility bill. And we've done it time and time again, haven't we? So we do that from residential all the way up to industrial businesses. We've actually eliminated the utility usage on businesses that have, let's say, a $9,000 utility bill. We bring it down to $13. That's pretty neat. And we see the before and after of something like that, and it's impressive, and it adds opportunity to these businesses that we're serving. Because when you have an extra $9,000 a month of revenue, of opportunity, you can add more jobs, you can add more equipment, you can put more money in your pocket, add more benefits. This is happening. And all we're requiring is the support and leadership to support us, to be there for us so that we can continue this opportunity. The way that we look at it is that efficiency is a necessity, and it's part of our economy, it's part of our capitalistic economy. We're introducing more automation, more robotics into what we're doing. We're making our companies more efficient. And as we do that, we're getting good at producing goods and services at a lower cost. We're transporting goods and services automatically, longer distances, less expensively. Because if we add more renewables to the system, we start getting an opportunity to produce, manufacture, move goods and services around the world at ever-decreasing costs. So that's our mission, is to do that, because coming from a military background, I've recognized that conflict is a matter of scarcity. And time again, we're creating abundance. We're creating abundance for our clients. So when we can do that, when we can move goods and services around the world for next to nothing, why do you need borders? And why do we have have conflict? Because we're creating an abundance for everybody. And this is real, this is possible, and it's happening right now. So we need your support. I'll just finish by saying I like to talk to our team at Ideal Energy as my civilian SEAL team. I think of C as water, sea, energy, air, and land. We're still protectors, and we're serving. So thank you for your support.
I like what you said, we do good work. The power in this room is just amazing, and the partnerships. Thank you. Our final speaker is Senator Rob Hogue, who was the Isaac Walton League 2016 Legislator of the Year. Senator Hogue is a third-term senator. He's an author and attorney who hails from Cedar Rapids. Senator Hogue has an incredible depth of knowledge on all issues impacting Iowa's natural resources and has been a champion for many of us for many years. Please help me welcome Senator Hogue.
All right, well, hey, thank you everybody for being here today, and I see some of my legislative colleagues in the audience. Please raise your hand. Chuck Eisenhardt over here, Senator David Johnson here. So thank you all for being here. And Andy McKean had to take off. I want to thank you all. And by the way, what a bunch of great speakers. Troy, thank you for your service, the work you do. Molly, Seth, great job. Well, thank you for coming to the Capitol today, because there's one Iowa value that we haven't talked about yet today, and that's the Iowa value of citizenship. And when you see things not going right in your state or your country, you know what the answer to that is? Citizenship. So I want everybody here today to know that you are welcome at the Iowa State Capitol. This is your house, and you belong here. And as citizens, you have some work to do today. This isn't the end, is it, Jen? No, you have some work to do today, because we've got some legislation for you to work on. First of all, we need you to save our energy efficiency programs that are under attack. Energy efficiency is the cleanest, cheapest, quickest, and most secure form of energy that we have, and there shouldn't be arbitrary limits put on energy efficiency. So you need to talk to your representatives and your senators today to stop Senate File 2311 and to stop Senate Study Bill 3078. We need you to stand up for energy efficiency jobs, energy efficient savings, and the environment. We need you to speak up to save the solar energy tax credit. That has been one of the most successful programs we've had since we passed it with bipartisan support in 2012. We've had thousands of solar energy projects, over $100 million invested, and you heard from Troy, businesses all over the state that didn't exist here 6 years ago. So we need you to stop Senate File 2383 and the attack on solar energy tax credits. And you can do that today. You can help do that today. We need you to help us to stop the cuts. Last year they cut the REAP program by 25%, by $4 million. Just last night they finished a budget that cuts the DNR by another $123,000. This fiscal year in IDOLS by another $188,000. And we simply need to stop the cuts. And we haven't seen the budget for next year yet. And so when you're up talking to legislators today, make sure they know that these programs, the river programs, all of these programs, that they are important. Stop the cuts to natural resources and outdoor recreation. So do that. And there are a lot of bills out there, but the final one I'm going to talk about is, since 2010, we have tried repeatedly, and there's still the chance that we can do it this year. It's time to fund the trust. Let's fund it. Iowa voters voted 63% for it. We want it. And let me share this just to conclude. As citizens, as you're speaking up, I don't want you to ever forget that caring about the environment and natural resources is important, and you should feel free and empowered to talk about that. However, we're also in a time where it's not enough to just talk about that. And at this historical moment, where so much seems wrong in our state and our country, I want to tell you that you are here today to advocate for the solution to those problems, because it's not just good for the environment and our natural resources, it's good for our health, it's good for our safety, it's good for prosperity, it's good for rural economic development and revitalization. This is the answer to the future. It is our sustainable future, not just environmentally, but economically, and to deal with the issues of peace and security that Troy talked about. So go out today. Are you ready? Are you ready to go out today to stand up and say, Iowa, we have values. We care about citizenship. We care about our natural resources. We want a healthy, prosperous, and sustainable future for all Iowans. Let's unite and let's do that today. Thank you so much.
No way I I can beat that. So just help me thank our speakers one more time. We are defending science, we're defending public health, we're defending economic prosperity and jobs, and we're defending our natural resource today. Go upstairs and tell your stories and ask for change, and have a wonderful day upstairs. Yay, thank you for being here.